Hello, carnivore hunters. This is Rick. You may have already seen a couple of my brother's videos where he is talking about wearing his CGM. I have also started wearing a CGM. We just wanted to really see how different foods affect our body. And this is something I was wanting to do before the FDA approved, uh, everybody being able to purchase a CGM. It used to be only diabetics could be prescribed them. Now you can get them over the counter. And so we went with Stello. And at the end of our experiment, these CGMs are good for 14 or 15 days. Doug and I will sit down together and we'll give you the pros and the cons. I've already found a couple things that, not horrible, but things I think the Stello or Dexcom, I think Dexcom's who makes it, the things they could do to improve on it. But without further ado, I don't want to get into that too much. I want to tell you, I decided to take my first 2 days and live as if I wasn't a carnivore. I'm living the lifestyle of me pre-carnivore because I really wanted to see what I was doing to my body. And so this is going to look pretty bad, but it will improve, and I'll show you that too. So this is day one. I put it on about 5:20 in the evening. I did have a ribeye and some hard-boiled eggs right before that, so I put that in there. And over here is where I started my first cheat. So what I did is I went and I bought a bag of Funyuns, because in the old days, while I'm sitting down watching TV, I would have devoured a bag of chips or Funyuns or something along those lines. And man, I spiked up to 232. It was terrible. Promise you I won't do that again. And this is continuing on. You got to remember, I'm a night shift worker, so I'm up at 12 a.m. in the morning doing this kind of stuff. But I mean, just look what it did to me for hours. And, I finally went to bed somewhere around in here, around 3 or 4 in the morning. And it really started to come down, had a nice low dip. And then I woke up and started day 2 of cheating. I actually, when I woke up, I didn't really have anything to eat except right here. One of my weaknesses, those sugar-free monsters, the ones that come in the white can. I used to drink those like water. And so I wanted to see what that would do to me. And so right here at 11 o'clock, I had actually a couple of monsters. And it spiked me a little, but it didn't put me over the 140 mark here. The range apparently for a non-diabetic is, I think it's 70 to 140. And this yellow and red line in the gray in between it, that's your target where you want to be. And then at about noon, I went bowling with a buddy of mine, and we bowled 4 games. So it was a pretty quick pace. And so I'm not sure if this was the monster or the activity of bowling or both, but it came down pretty quickly. I'm not sure why I had this gap here. I must have lost data transfer between the CGM and my phone somehow. And same thing right here. But my next experiment I was going to try, I wanted to see what happened if I drank a couple of fingers of whiskey. So I did that around 8 o'clock, it says, and the whiskey did absolutely nothing that I can see. I was really surprised by that. And then again, I went to bed around probably 3 or 4, and so you can see when I'm, aside from the monsters, I did eat pretty carnivore that day. the last part of my experiment is this afternoon. I have a work function. It's actually our holiday party in the middle, almost at the end of January, but we're having our holiday party, which is pretty typical for my company to do that. But you can see I'm riding in the 90s to 120 ish. I just woke up right here, so anyway, that's looking pretty good. So Doug and I are going to keep doing this after this holiday party tonight. I'm going to try to go pretty strict carnivore again, but I'm curious to see what kind of food they'll have at this holiday party. It's going to be your typical crap. I can pretty much promise you that. So I'll eat some of the things I used to eat, some of my favorite things, and I may even try to keep it carnivore depending on what options they have. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I'll keep these coming.